Hello, second grade, and welcome to Unit 1, Week 2. I'm going to go over your vocabulary, your spelling, and your grammar notes with you, and we're also going to go over our weekly stories, as well as our comprehension skills and strategies, our genre, and our vocabulary skills and strategy in this video. Your first vocabulary word for this week is the word plead. When you plead for something, you beg or you argue for it. So an example sentence is, we pleaded with our mom for another bedtime story. It means you're saying, please, 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 please let me do this again, or please let me have another one. When did you plead for something? Your second word is the word share. When I share, I give a part of something I have to someone else. So children learn to share their toys with each other. How can you share your ideas with your friends? So when you're sharing, you have something that's yours and you're letting someone else use it or play with it. It's a very polite thing to do. Your next word is the word fair. I'm fair when I treat my friends in a just and honest way. Now, when you're being fair, you're giving everyone the same chance to do something. So it's fair to take turns when we play, right? So if you have a turn, then your friend has a turn, and then someone else has a turn, and everybody goes in line, you guys are playing fairly because everyone is getting a chance to participate. How can you make sure something is fair for everyone? So think about if you're sharing a snack, right? Now we're going to use two of our words. You want to be fair when you're sharing your snack, right? So you want to make sure everyone gets the same size piece. Number 4 is the word invited. When people are invited, they're asked nicely to do something or to go somewhere. So your friend might invite you over to their house for dinner, or you might invite your friend to the park to go on a play date, or maybe your friend invited you over to watch a movie at their house. When have you invited someone to your house? Number 5 is the word aside. When things are put aside, they're moved to one side. So Juan moved aside books on the shelf. So when you're putting something aside, you're taking it and you're scooting it over. Describe why a person might need to move aside. So think about if you're walking down the stairs and you're walking in the middle, and someone else is walking on the stairs and they're moving faster than you. You might want to step aside to give them enough room to pass you. Number 6 is the word scurries. Now, when something scurries, it scampers or it runs quickly. So think of like a squirrel or a small animal when it's running away really fast. The squirrel scurries up the tree. What does an animal look like when it scurries? So think about it running really, really fast. It's trying to get away or it's trying to hide. You know, it's not just walking along. It's not taking its time. It's in a really big hurry. Number 7 is the word culture. People of the same culture share the same way of life. In a culture, rice might be a main food, or maybe you're in a culture where one of the main kinds of food is bread or noodles. How can you learn about someone's culture? So you can take a look at the special kind of clothing they wear, or the special celebrations they have, or the delicious foods that they eat. All of those tell you about a person's culture. And your last vocabulary word for this week is the word language. Language is the way that we speak, read, write, or sign. So if some people use sign language if they can't hear properly, or if they're deaf and they can't hear at all, they use sign language to be able to communicate with other people. So English is a language we learn about at school every day. What language would you like to learn? Now I'm going to go over your Unit 1, Week 2 spelling words. Now your spelling words this week are going to focus on the short E, O, and U sound. So your words are went, tell, pet, job, fog, not, tug, hut, tub, bun, fix, has, one, or, and see. And your grammar notes for this week, we're still talking about sentences. So remember, a sentence has two parts to it. We call those two parts the subject and then the action word or the verb. So who the sentence is about and what they're doing. So the two kinds of sentences that we're going to talk about today are called commands and exclamations. Now remember, every sentence must begin with a capital letter and it has to end with some kind of punctuation mark. So a period or a question mark or an exclamation mark. Now a command is a sentence that tells someone to do something. And a command ends with a period. So the subject of a command is the person that you're talking to, right? And the action word or the second half of the sentence is what you're telling them to do. So some examples of commands are like when you say clean your room, you're telling someone to do something, or when you say wash your hands before dinner, or do not write in your textbook. So if you're not sure if a sentence is a command or not, look at it and ask yourself, is this sentence asking me to do something or telling me to do something? If the answer is yes, then you know it's a command. The second kind of sentence we're going to talk about today is called an exclamation. An exclamation is a sentence that shows a strong feeling or it shows excitement. It ends with an exclamation point. Now, an exclamation point looks like that. This right here is an exclamation point. Some examples of exclamations are, say you're playing outside in the snow with your friend and someone throws a snowball and you're telling your friend, look out for that snowball, right? You're shouting, you're showing a really strong feeling. Or if you step outside and you forgot your jacket and you say, oh, it's so cold outside. Or if your mom made your favorite fruit salad that has all the delicious berries in it, you can say, I love fruit salad, right? All of these sentences are showing really strong feelings. So they end with an exclamation mark. So that's your grammar for this week and your spelling words and your vocabulary. Now remember your spelling words when you write them down, make sure you write them neatly. You're writing all of the words 3 times each. You're leaving a 2-finger space between all of your words. You're skipping lines, using your very best handwriting, and making sure that your name and date are at the top. Now we're going to get into your weekly stories. So I'm going to play both of these stories for you. We're going to start with the story that's in your big book.
Genre, realistic fiction. Big Red Lollipop by Roxanna Khan. Illustrated by Sophie Blackall. I'm so excited, I run all the way home from school. Ami, I've been invited to a birthday party. There's going to be games and toys, cake and ice cream. Can I go? Sana screams, I want to go too. Ami says, what's a birthday party? It's when they celebrate the day they were born. Why do they do that? They just do. Can I go? Sana screams, I want to go too. I can't take her. She's not invited. Why not? Says Ami. They don't do that here. Ami says, well, that's not fair. You call up your friend and ask if you can bring Sana, or else you can't go. But Ami, they'll laugh at me. They'll never invite me to another party again. Sana screams, I want to go too. I say, look, Sana, one day you'll get invited to your own friends' parties. Wouldn't you like that better? No, I want to go now. I beg and plead, but Ami won't listen. I have no choice. I have to call. Sally says, all right. But it doesn't sound all right. I know she thinks I'm weird. At the party, I'm the only one who brought her little sister. Sana has to win all the games, and when she falls down during musical chairs, she cries like a baby. Before we leave the party, Sally's mom gives us little bags. Inside there are chocolates and candies, a whistle, a ruby ring, and a big red lollipop. Sana eats her big red lollipop on the way home in the car. I save mine for later. Sana doesn't know how to make things last. By bedtime, her candies are all gone, her whistle is broken, and the ruby in her ring is missing. I put my big red lollipop on the top shelf of the fridge to have in the morning. All night I dream about how good it will taste. In the morning, I get up early to have it. Son is already up. When she sees me, she runs away. I open the fridge door. All that's left of my lollipop is a triangle stuck to a stick. Sana! I hear a sound in the front hall closet. I should have known. That's where she always hides. I shove aside the coats and boots. I'm going to get you. Quick as a rat, she scoots through my legs and runs around and around the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, yelling, Ami, Ami, help, help. Ami comes out, rubbing her eyes. Sana runs behind Ami, where I can't get her. What's going on out here? Says Ami. Sana says, Rubina's trying to get me. Ami puts her hands on her hips. Are you trying to get your little sister again? She ate my lollipop, the greedy thing. She ate it. Ami says, For shame, it's just a lollipop. Can't you share with your little sister? I want to cry, but I don't. Sana runs to the fridge and brings back the triangle stuck to the stick. Look, I didn't eat all of your lollipop. I left the triangle for you. See, says Ami, she didn't eat all of it. She's sharing with you. Go ahead, take the triangle. So I have to take it. Go ahead, eat the triangle. But I don't. With all my might, I throw it across the room. It skitters under the sofa. Sana scurries after it and eats that too. The worst thing is that all the girls at school know if they invite me to their birthday parties, I have to bring Sana. I don't get any invitations for a really long time. Then one day, Sana comes home waving an invitation. Ami, I've been invited to a birthday party. There's going to be games and toys and cake and ice cream. Can I go? Our little sister, Miriam, screams, I want to go too. Sana says, No, I can't take her. She's not invited. Ami says, Well, it's only fair. You went to Rubina's friend's party. Now Rubina and Miriam can go to your friend's party. I say, Leave me out of it. Ami says, Fine then. You have to take Miriam. Now it's Sana's turn to beg and plead. Ami won't listen. Sana's begging so hard she's crying, but still Ami won't listen. I could just watch her have to take Miriam. I could just let her make a fool of herself at that party. I could just let her not be invited to any more parties, but something makes me tap Ami on the shoulder. What? Don't make Sana take Miriam to the party. No, says Ami. No, I say. Ami thinks for a moment, then says, Okay. So Sana gets to go by herself. After the party, I hear a knock on my door. What do you want? I ask Sana. Here. She hands me a big green lollipop. This is for you. Thanks, I say. After that, we're friends.
Okay, now that brings us to the end of our first story. We're going to go ahead and hop into our small book, and we're going to go through this story there, as well as some of our other language arts concepts that we're going to learn this week.
Vocabulary. Use the picture and sentence to learn each word.
So over here we have the word aside, culture, fair, invited, language, plead, scurries, and share. And we went over the meaning of these words at the beginning of our video, so we're going to move on to the story.
Genre: realistic fiction. Maria celebrates Brazil. Maria and her family are in their bright hot kitchen. "Please, Mai, por favor," Maria begs. Mai speaks Portuguese. This is the language of Brazil. No matter how much you beg or plead, you must go to practice. The parade is next week. "It's not fair," says Maria in English. Mai does not know a lot of English. Maria is surprised when she asks, "What is not fair about going to practice? You must do the right thing." "Anna invited me to her house," Maria answers. "I want to go." Pi says, "Maria, the parade is important. People from around the world come to see it. They try our food, see how we dress, and how we live. It is a chance for us to share our culture." "I know, but I really want to see Anna," says Maria. Pi says, "Maria, you can see Anna another time. They are giving out costumes at practice today." Maria thinks about her father's words. Pi is right. She and the other children have worked hard for a year. They practiced their dance steps over and over. They even made their own bright, colorful costumes. "You're right," Maria says to her father. "I'll go to practice. I'll tell Anna I cannot visit her." 1 week passes. Lots of people line the streets. The children in Maria's group are wearing their sparkling costumes. They know each dance step. They dance to the beat. The crowd moves aside as they make their way down the street. When the crowd moves away, Maria sees a woman with a camera. She is hurrying. The woman scurries by Maria. She puts her camera to her eye. Maria smiles from ear to ear. She is excited to be in the parade. Click! The woman takes a picture of Maria. Maria is proud of her hard work.
Okay, so we're going to go into our comprehension skills and strategies, talking about the stories that we just read.
Visualize. When you visualize, you use the author's words to form pictures in your mind about a story. Find text evidence. On page 41 of Maria Celebrates Brazil, what words does the author use to help you visualize the costumes? Maria thinks about her father's words. Pi is right. She and the other children have worked hard for a year. They practiced their dance steps over and over. They even made their own bright, colorful costumes. I read that the children made bright and colorful costumes. This helps me visualize the parade.
Now remember, we talked about the concept of visualizing before. When you visualize, you're imagining what it looks like. So you're picturing it in your mind, and you're using the words that the author is writing in their story and the clues from the pictures and the illustrations in the story to imagine what everything looks like.
Character setting events. A character is a person or animal in a story. The setting of a story tells when and where a story takes place. The events are what happens. Find text evidence. As I read page 39 of Maria Celebrates Brazil, I learn who the characters are, what they do, and where the story takes place. Graphic organizer. Characters, setting, events. Characters, Maria, Mai, Pi. Setting, Maria's kitchen. Events, Maria wants to miss practice to go to her friend's house. Realistic fiction. The story Maria Celebrates Brazil is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is a made-up story with characters that could be real people. Has a beginning, middle, and end.
Now, when we're talking about realistic fiction, we're talking about something that didn't happen, but it could happen in real life. So if I tell you, yesterday I went for a picnic at the beach, that's something that could happen in real life, but I didn't really go. So that's why it becomes realistic fiction. So it has all the things in it that could be real, all the events and people in it that are real, but it didn't actually happen.
Find text evidence. I can tell that Maria Celebrates Brazil is realistic fiction. The characters are like real people. Also, the story has a beginning, middle, and end. Story structure. In the beginning of the story, I read that Maria wants to skip practice and go to a friend's house.
Okay, next we're going to talk about our vocabulary strategy for this week, and we're going to be talking about root words.
Root words. To understand the meaning of a word you do not know, try to separate the root word from the endings, such as ed or ing. Find text evidence. As I read the word hurrying, I can split the root word hurry from the ending ing, which can mean something happening right now. I think hurrying means moving quickly right now. Maria sees a woman with a camera. She is hurrying.
So when we're talking about the root word, we're talking about the simplest form of the word. So you're taking off all of the extra stuff that's on the word and you're looking at the very, very basic word. When you understand what that means, it's easier to figure out what the word means when it has all those extra parts added onto it. All right, so that takes us to the end of this week's Language Arts. Remember, your Language Arts notes are in the shared folder. They're also going to be attached to your Monday assignment. And the reading books everyone has right now. And I've also shown you in the last video how to access those videos online. And that's everything I've got for you for this week. Second grade, I hope you have a wonderful week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.